What's good, you guys? What's good? What's good? What's good in the hood? This be your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new episode of Yes for the Mess. Yes for the Mess is all about nothing but celebrity gossip, hot topics, or just anything that's going on in the blogs. All right. So if you're here for nothing but the mess, you're here for the right. You're here at the right channel. Okay, because we're all about the mess, good mess. Not mess that stirs up just mess, child. Anyway, so with that being said, thank you for tuning into the channel. I really appreciate it, you guys. I really love you guys. Shout out to the Scotty gang, most definitely. I really enjoy it. Make sure you guys are tuning into my new segments that are out, young, fresh, and new, as well as Who Was Wrong. I hope you guys are enjoying them. Let me know what you guys think about them. Leave comments in the comment section. But for the time being, we're gonna let you know what's coming up. Now, the Whether You Like It or Not panel will be airing tomorrow night on Josiah's World TV's platform. Be sure to tune in as the cast talks about Potomac, all right? And on Wednesday, Roast the Review will also be on Josiah's platform, where we will sit down and talk about love and marriage Huntsville, all right? So make sure you tune in to that. And Boys Night Out will be back, but on November the 18th, because this Friday I'll be out of town, so we won't be able to do a show. But however, stay on the lookout for it. And the Love and Marriage Huntsville open panel will be airing live later on today. All right. So with that being said, let's get into the mess. Now, today's mess involves the Real Housewives of Potomac star, Wendy Osefo. She sat down and she did an interview with Carlos King on his popular podcast, The Reality with the King, okay? She talked about her beef with Robyn Dixon. She talked about being iced out of the Real Housewives of Potomac, and she even touched on her fight with Mia. Okay. So at this particular point, Wendy's exposing these girls for trying to ice her out of the show. But before we get into any of that, she's going to touch on what really happened and what's going on and what started her beef with Robyn Dixon. Okay. So we're going to be listening along. You know, I love doing these type of videos. We're going to be listening along as Carlos King talks to Wendy Osefo about her beef with Robyn Dixon. Let's get into it, you guys.
Hindsight is 2020. Do you now understand maybe why last season Robyn, for example, was really confused with who you were at that time?
No, because Robyn.
Robyn, I tried.
No. Because I felt like well, first of all, I didn't feel that way because we were really close. Like we actually talked. Like when cameras are down, and you know this, Carlos. There are people who just film. We show up to set. Then there's people who actually talk. No, we talked. We texted. Like we talk. Like, hey girl, how
Wait,
you doing?
not to cut you off because I don't cut people off. This is shocking. You and Robyn Dixon had a friendship off camera?
Yes. Like we talk. Like I would send her an article. She'll send me an article. Girl, what are these people talking about? What are these people talking about? I don't know. When we were in lockdown, how are you doing? How are the boys doing? Are you cooking? Well, I'm tired of cooking. We tired of cooking. I'm tired. We would have those conversations. Or her just calling me, checking in. Hey, how's everything going? Da da da. Like we would talk. So that's why I'm like, no. And then two, we saw Robyn go from selling and flipping houses to selling beauty supply store hats to doing whatever she's doing. And it's okay. So let me understand. It's okay for her to change her career path and explore different things, but I can't. That's why I don't get that. I would understand. And Robyn, you know what I mean? I just don't get it. Like we saw you change different paths yourself, and it wasn't a what's wrong, what's different. Girl, you were just flipping a house in downtown Baltimore. Now I know you got me on somebody's screen modeling hats for you. Okay, you my girl. I'm gonna model the hat. I'm gonna give you an angle. So why can you do it and I can't?
So do you think in another hindsight 2020 that Robyn was doing that to create a storyline?
Yes.
Oh.
I think so.
Okay.
I personally think she was doing that because we were friends. She never even asked me that off camera. She was never like, girl, is everything okay? Are you all right? Like, you going from this to that? Like, it was never that. It was me watching the episodes with you guys, and I'm like, wait, that's how you feel? You never said that. You never communicate this with me. You never talk to me. You never, you know. So yeah.
Wow. This is deep.
And and what I think too, not to get too much into the weeds of last season, but it was what I'm realizing now that I'm stepping back and just watching even this season. The name of the game is connecting the dots, right? It's a connect the dot game. And that was part of her laying the foundation to connect the dots for my plastic surgery, then to connect the dots for I got plastic surgery because of the false rumor for Eddie. It was all laying the groundwork. It was a connecting the dots. That's what I'm realizing. I didn't know it then. I was like, oh, what's the big deal if I change careers? No, it's because you're changing careers because you're acting different and you're acting different. And then you got your body done. And all of this is because of this rumor.
Baby, those 4 degrees came in handy for the dissection of it all. Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you. Connect those
the dots, baby. So this past episode, we saw that, which Robyn, I love Robyn. I love the entire cast, but I call a spade, right? We saw that Robyn did not invite you to her event that was for the kids. She told Candace to call you not just a mama, a black mama. Okay? She had Candace call a black mama and said, "Can I take your kids out of your house in my vehicle? Drive down I-85 South, getting off exit 12, turning up in the parking lot, child, and have a play date with another woman and her kids."
Mm-hmm.
And you said no, which, as a black man raised by a black mama, I understood that 150%.
Come on, Carlos.
Where I was so this is no shade. I said, "Bitch, am I watching the OC Housewives? Because black folks, no, this ain't how we get down." In the audacity of that, what was Robyn thinking? Was this another situation where she was creating a storyline, you think?
So,
or does she hate you that much?
Well, it's twofold, right? I think, first of all, if you don't want the mama, then you don't want the kids, right? My kids are not going anywhere that their mom isn't wanted. That's very simple to me. It doesn't take a lot to go through that. And if I could actually keep it very real, there was a moment, a hot mic moment. And in my hot mic moment, you guys hear me say, "Oh, wait, I'm still mic'd," or something like that. That comment wasn't to my comment earlier about Mia. That comment was because I called Eric. Eric was working overtime that episode. You know Eric. I called
the showrunner Eric, the Carlos King of Potomac is what I call my mentee. Yes.
EP Eric. Oh, I love Eric. Because after she did that whole song and dance where she went around the room and asked about everyone's kids, it was definitely about the kids because she didn't ask the women in the circle, "Hey, Ashley, are you available? Sharice, are you available?" She asked specifically if our kids were available. And based on whether the kids were available was her not inviting me. Does that make sense? It wasn't like she was inviting the moms, right? It was the children she was inviting. So I said to Eric, when I had my moment with him, I sat him in the car and I was crying. I said, "Y'all can come for me all you want to. I signed up for this. Come for me. She can come for me however she wants to. But to do this to a 2, 6, and 8-year-old, that's not what I signed up for, nor did my kids sign up for that." And Eric will tell you, I sat him in the car. He was right in my front seat crying. I was crying because I can take a lot. But as a mom, don't do that to my kids. And my kids are of the age where, for me, they don't necessarily watch the show, but they have friends, especially my two oldest ones, who their friends watch the show with their mom. Like the show comes on at 8 o'clock, they're still awake and they'll say, "Oh, Carter Cruz, I saw you on TV." So the conversation can never be, "Well, your kids won't know." Yes, they'll know. They found out the same time y'all found out. They have friends who watch the show. So they know that they weren't invited. And as long as Robyn has been on this show, my kids are the only kids she's ever had a play date with. Our boys are the only boys that had a football play date. So for her to do that, I just felt like, wow, that's really, really wrong. And then to answer your second question about, was this for a storyline? I don't know what it was for, but I know everyone, including, and I'll give it to some people who I don't even, have the best relationship with, told her that's wrong. Don't do that. That's wrong. People, they said that's wrong. Do not do that. And she did not budge. She was like, I don't care. I don't care about those kids. I don't care.
Oh my. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna get emotional because I am such an advocate for children. Even on my show Love and Marriage Huntsville, I tell the cast all the time, kids are off limits. We're not gonna play around with the kids. And no matter what they go through as a cast, those kids are friends with each other. And I always appreciated the fact that when there was ever an event for the kids, that the kids would definitely be there, even if the parents don't get along. And I'm so sorry you have to go through that. Listen, Robyn isn't here to defend herself, so I'll give her that as well. But that this is truly breaking my heart, and I don't want people to hear me cry. I don't sound good crying. So I'm gonna change the subject because I don't play that shit when it comes to kids.
I
You know
don't
what I'm saying? Like
either.
kids to me are off limits.
And it's a family fun day. Like, how are you gonna set you? So you want my kids to come with Candace to a family fun day when none of their family's there and every other kid has their family? Like, this is not making any sense to me. I don't play with my kids. Why would I put them in a position or an environment where the host of the event doesn't even like their mom? You don't have to invite me. You don't have to invite me. That's fine. But then don't now try to backtrack and try to come up with some convoluted, way to get my kids there. It would have made more sense for her to say, "Hey, Juan, call Eddie. Tell Eddie to bring the kids." That would have made sense. Let their dad bring them. That would have made sense, right? Like, hey, no, Wendy, I have an issue with you. I have a problem with you. Absolutely, you're right. But you know what? Tell Eddie to bring the kids there. 1,000%. That makes sense.
Wendy is spilling tea. She's definitely spilling tea. And it's sad to hear because I really believe that at one point in time, Wendy and Robyn were really friends. I don't deny that for a second. I really think that Wendy cared about Robyn at some point, and I really believe that she thought that Robyn was her friend because I really felt like Robyn and Wendy really liked each other. I really felt that way. However, it's the fakeness that has turned Wendy off. It's the fact that once the camera started rolling for season 6, Robyn does what Robyn does. She gets up and she follows up behind Giselle. That's what she does all the time. And it's funny because I understand now why Wendy has the attitude that she has when it comes to Robyn. Her and Robyn were actually friends. They were really good friends at one point in time. Their kids were cool. And the fact that she turned on her, and not only did she turn on her with Giselle, but she disrespected the woman's children. And I don't care how anybody tries to put it. She disrespected that lady's kids by not having the parent there. You want me to have my kids come to your shit and you don't even like me. Like, what type of shit is that? I've always thought that Robyn was a dumb dumb. I always thought she was, but I did not think that she was that fucking dumb. You don't like Wendy, but you want her kids there, but you don't want Wendy to be there with her own damn kids. And like Wendy said, you could have asked Eddie to bring the kids. Hell, your own man wasn't even there, but he ain't never there for you. So what's to be expected? But my thing is, Wendy's kids wasn't missing out on a damn thing, and they ought to be glad that their asses wasn't there. I'm just being real. I'm just saying, I would have been glad I missed out if we're being real about the situation here. Robyn is a fucked up individual, but I've been saying it though. But y'all don't be want to hear nothing I be saying. Y'all be getting mad at me for shit. Oh, you just hate this person. No, I don't hate anybody. I just call it for what the hell it is. Robyn is a horrible, horrible person. And she's showing it right now. And how aggressive she is when it comes down to Wendy. She act like she want to whoop Wendy ass, child. She do. Like for real, for real. Like, girl, what is wrong with you? Like, Robyn is something else with herself. And this season, she really showing it. But you know what? I'm not mad. I'm glad she's showing her true colors. I ain't lying to you. I'm glad she's showing them, baby. I'm glad that she's showing them. And I'm just keeping it real with you, baby. She's showing them true colors. And I could not be happier about that. Keep showing them. Keep showing the people who you really are. Just keep showing them. Keep showing them. So we're going to continue on listening in.
And take you.
Hold on, y'all. Let me make sure all these ads are up out of here. Okay, hold on, wait a minute. All right, so we're about to go ahead and get into the rest of it because she's gonna talk about the icing out and her fight with Mia. So let's continue to listen, y'all. This looks like this is gonna wind up being a premiere, child. Here we go.
So, like I said, I love Robyn. I love the girls. I was in Miami a few months ago when y'all were filming, and I wanted to surprise y'all because I am obsessed with this show, and I'm not going to give much away. So I was able to meet Giselle, Robyn, Charisse, and Ashley, and they were all lovely. We had a good old kiki, boom, boom, boom. And I said, where are my other girls? Because I'm obsessed, as you know, with you and Candace. Candace was shooting something else, but again, I'm not going to give much away, but Dr. Wendy wasn't there. This was the day after this altercation happened at Peter's Bar One restaurant in Miami. Now that we've seen the trailer, we saw that Mia threw a drink at you. Now, I know you said earlier, girl, you was watching Love and Hip Hop, child, but what the fuck happened to where your experience was like a scene out of Love and Hip Hop, Dr. Wendy?
Honestly, that was wild. I would say it was wild. And I always say, if you watch that trailer again, pay attention to Karen's face. We were not even there. Like it didn't warrant that. No one was expecting that. It completely came out of left field. And I would just tell you guys to pay very close attention. Pay very close attention to what was being discussed and whether or not that it even elevated to that level.
Because you are a doctor and you are a woman who's been surrounded by educators, and you're still, you do a lot of work on different news channels. In that moment, or even afterwards, did you feel like, I have such a great career? Is this what I signed up for? Like, did you think your credibility as an educator was going to be diminished by your peers because of that moment?
Yes and no. In that moment when it happened, I thought of everything I had accomplished and whether or not me retaliating was worth losing all of those things. It was a split-second decision because you have natural reflexes. Someone throws a drink at you, it's like, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just natural, right? But like you guys see in that moment when it happens, and then I just think of my daughter. I think of my children. I'm like, I've worked so damn hard. Like Carlos, and we can vibe on this. In the industry that is dominated by people who don't look like you, for you to achieve the level of success you have, you know how hard you have worked. For me to achieve the level of success I have, where I can choose what network I go on, where I can do these things, where I'm at a top university, is what I'm about to do worth risking all of that? And in that moment, I had to say, you know what? We're not going to do that, because y'all can say whatever you want about me, but baby, this career, I worked damn hard for it. And I've earned everything I have. Nothing was given to me. Blood, sweat, and tears, I earned it all. And I'm not going to let the misactions of one person cause me to now throw all of that down the drain. No.
And without giving too much away, then we'll move on. We saw that season 5, there was a very healthy conversation with the housewives after Monique and Candace got into their altercation. There was a sit down conversation that all of you ladies were a part of. May I ask you, was that same grace given to you after that moment?
Y'all are going to see a lot of people eat their words. Y'all remember everybody's position, how, this is not what we do. We're better than this. Watch. Pay close attention. This season is about paying close attention and paying attention to the ways that the goalpost is continuously moved depending on who is on the receiving end. That's what this season's about. To tie that to your earlier question, when you were talking about Robyn, what you guys will also see outside of the Family Fun Day is people doing everything in their power to ice me out. And you guys will see it throughout the season. You'll see it throughout. This is not the first time. That Family Fun Day, oh, that's child's play. That is child's play. Stay locked in. What you guys will see throughout the season, you guys will be like, what? Is it that serious? This doesn't make any sense.
Well, Dr. Wendy, I will say this, and I said this to all the girls that I know personally and spoken to in this podcast. You are needed for the show. Listen, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The Real Housewives of Potomac is a stellar cast of women. All of you play your role. I am walking away from this interview fully understanding the woman that you are. And I know that, like you said earlier, you're not obviously able to control your story in terms of the bigger picture. But I really hope a lot of people listen to this interview, because I now understand that you are a woman. Like a lot of women, especially mothers, you're just figuring life out and you're doing it day by day. And the only difference between you and Sally Ann in Iowa is you have a camera crew following your journey. And although it may not make sense to the audience, even me, I now understand it. And I want to say to you, I appreciate you saying that, because I now have a full understanding of you as a full human, a full mother, and a full wife, and a full entrepreneur, and a full-time cast member, and you ain't going nowhere. So thank you, Dr. Wendy, girl.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes.
I think I went too far. That's enough. So did y'all hear that? So we're gonna start off with the Mia thing. So in so many words, Wendy is saying that the drink throwing that Mia did was not warranted, which we already knew that it probably wasn't. Mia does a lot of things that aren't warranted. Mia lies a lot, and she doesn't tell the truth a lot either. She always making up stuff as she goes. So this ain't nothing new to me. She's been a liar. So I'm not really surprised about her doing that. Not only that, she Carlos asked her a good question when she said, when Monique was into the altercation on season 5, was she given the luxury to have a sit down conversation, a healthy conversation about the fight itself? Basically, in so many words, Winnie did not get to have one. And in so many words, what I took from this is that they didn't give a fuck about what Mia did to her. They did not care about that. You feel what I'm saying? They didn't give a fuck about any of that. They didn't care. They didn't care. All that stuff about, we held ourselves above, the standard and all this other shit, like they didn't care. They didn't care about any of that. So that's what I got from it. And Wendy was like, the goalpost is all about who it's happening to. I definitely agree with that. They've always been hypocrites, and that's just the basis of the situation. They're hypocritical ass people, and can't nobody tell me anything different. Like, they've been hypocrites, and that has been my biggest issue. They only did that because they did not like Monique. They like Monique was the aggressor, and that's the reason why they was going so hard on her, because she was the aggressor. And now that Wendy has been assaulted, because drink throwing is an assault, by Mia, they like Mia. So therefore they don't care about what's going on. You feel what I'm saying? So yes, hypocrites at its finest, hypocritical things at its finest. And Wendy also confirmed something that I already knew from the beginning, and that is they're icing her out. Because she's not in that many scenes. She wasn't in many scenes when it came down to the super trailer. I could tell they were icing her out. And I don't know what she did to really deserve to be iced out. I mean, yeah, she read Giselle and Robyn down, but they're really working very hard to keep her off the show. And I think that's what happens when I think this messes up a show when once they start demanding not to film with somebody, or threatening not to film with a person. That's when they fuck up the entire show. I don't like it when they do that. It's ridiculous when they start doing that type of shit. I mean, it is. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie. I'm not gonna sit up here and hold you. It is. It's ridiculous, child. It's ridiculous, but it is what it is, though. It's definitely it is what it is, and I think that is ridiculous. And I can't wait to see the rest of the season. Look like all the drama is about to go down the rest of the season. So that's all I can really say about it. I'm team Wendy though. Like, I don't like Robyn. I don't care for Robyn like that, and I don't really care for Mia either. But I'm team Wendy on this because Robyn is the reason why their relationship is messed up, honestly. She is. And Mia is just looking for a spot. That's all. And that's really all I got on that. Team Wendy all day. This was a great interview that she had with Carlos King. And I love Carlos King's interviews. I really do. Like, I love his podcast. Like, I'm subscribed to that motherfucker all day. I listen to every single interview that he puts out. I listen to every single one of them because they're always full of tea. So with that being said, you guys, this be your boy Scattered by Nature TV. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, and share this video, as well as subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you can be notified whenever a video drops. If you want to follow me on any form of social media, be sure to follow my Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok. All 3 social media websites will be at the bottom of the video, okay? So with that being said, you guys, I am out of here, and until my next one, I will talk to you guys a little bit later.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Tramel. I just wanted to say that I have a new project that's out. It's called Mixed Feelings. It's on all streaming platforms. I would hope that you would go and check it out. It's a really good feel of an album. It's got everything you need and more. It's got R&B. It's got a little bit of pop. It's got a little bit of hip hop. It's everything that you need and more. It's out all streaming platforms, like I said. Please check me out, and you can also follow me at IAM_Tramel. That's IAM_TRAMEL. Check me out. Hope to hear from you.